Piledriver podcast. Let's go. We from the O. You need to know. We got Mike, Vince, and Tony on the show. Piledriver. Piledriver podcast. It's the Piledriver podcast.
In honor of the Stabbington one, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, Star Wars fans of all ages, may the 4th be with you. I'm the best in the world. To my left is Tony Forge, and we are the Piledriver podcast. Thank you all for tuning in tonight. Whew, what a weekend we had, my friend.
Yes.
Great show. Mega Championship Wrestling, if you've been living under a rock for the past month. We had Breaking Down Barriers 13 at Lorain County Community College this past Saturday. And, man, I haven't seen it that packed in such a long time. Not to say that our show isn't packed, but, this show went hard.
Yeah.
I know just from a concession standpoint, we bought double of whatever we normally bring, and we were sold out. But right after intermission,
right after intermission.
So
amazing.
Kudos to Mega Championship Wrestling's amazing show. We put on the Breaking Down Barriers is a show for the Friends of Murray Ridge. Everything goes towards them. They come in at the big, showing. Everybody hangs out. It's a great show. Dude, as a referee yesterday, I got to hang out and talk to so many people. Everybody was real friendly, real cool.
Yes.
Dude, I love Breaking Down Barrier shows. Those are the best.
Well, and it's like the almost the end of the season kind of for Mega. So it's a nice, fun way to go out. It's
yeah, no, like you said, we're gearing up. It's getting nice outside. So as it gets nice outside, we like to go outside.
We got to go outside.
Seven Hills Home Days will be, Mega Championship will be there at the end of the month. Kalahari Resorts, baby. Colossal Con.
Yes.
That's going to be a banger as well. But yet, like I said, Saturday, Breaking Down Barriers. Amazing show from start to finish. Every match was good. I couldn't keep my eyes. Normally, we're all running around trying to get stuff going down, but I wasn't able to take my eyes off the monitor in the back when I wasn't working.
Right.
So, let's get right into it. We had some newcomers making their debut. The tag team of Louis Leon and Mosh Pit going against a team that we are all too familiar with, Norm and Vito in Bear City Vice. This match was great. Leon at one point did a move where he got on the top rope, and I thought he was going to do something. And then Mosh Pit actually came over, and he stood on Mosh Pit's shoulders, which made him a foot taller, and then still did I think it was a senton swanton bomb kind of deal. But it was freaking cool. I loved their energy. I loved the Mosh Pit and Leon's energy.
Yes.
They came in hot. But Bear City Vice, these guys have been on a roll lately. I think the only match, Tony, they've lost lately has been their tag team title opportunity to PME.
Yeah, and I think they did they have the handcuff? Did they break out the handcuffs when was it against Mosh Pit, I want to say?
Yes, he unfortunately was handcuffed to the barricade.
Yes, that was.
Mozzarella was able to take advantage of Louis Leon in the ring, secure the victory, and the underhanded tactics from Bear City Vice continue to pile up. But in the record books, the wins just keep continuing to pile up as well.
Well, and damn, I mean, Vito is on I want to say a warpath, but he keeps bringing out his handgun everywhere. He's, you know what I mean? he's a hothead.
Yeah, he tried to. You got to watch. He's going to turn into one of them trigger happy officers.
Yeah, man.
So but they were able to pick up the victory here. So a great W for Bear City Vice over the newcomers, but definitely hope to see Leon and Mosh Pit back at some point, whether it be in singles competition or as a tag. They were fucking
Definitely.
awesome. Next up, I don't know if it's in order. I don't know if it's
I think I got it in order. I think I got it in order.
This tag team match, man, was a little fallout from the last show where Christian Napier was able to pick up a victory over Matt Cross, and I actually had to eject Vincent Nothing from that match because he kept trying to get involved. Bryson Teller, who we all know has a history with Vincent Nothing in the 5-minute challenge.
Yes.
Decides to team up with the crafty veteran.
What a team that is,
bro!
Bryson Teller and Matt Cross. That's man.
Like, if you look at the picture, it seemed like you could say that Bryson Teller could be a young Matt Cross. You know what I'm saying? Like, yes, they could be related. Like, he's like, that's my Uncle Matt. You know what I'm saying? Like,
right. Very similar build and just the way they move and things. Yeah.
Always been a fan of Bryson Teller, but Matt Cross is one of the few that come to Mega Championship Wrestling, and I forget who I was talking to in the back. I want to say it was Jordan Creed during this match, and he's one of the ones that comes, dude. And when he comes, he knows my name. We're friendly, and I'm like that. It's hard, dude, because he's so good. He's always been one of my favorites. That's Son of Havoc, dude. Like, that's
right,
Underground.
right.
I just great stuff.
Yeah, it's yeah. It blows my mind still.
That's it's just
indie darlings.
The indie darlings. That's a perfect way to put it. Or the indie legends, so to speak, that we get. But yes, this was a great tag team match. It wasn't the good guys' night, though. Christian and Vincent were able to pick up the win here.
Well, I missed the finish, I think, on this one. I don't remember.
I don't know how I think Bryson went for a dive and ended up outside of the ring with Vincent, and Christian caught Matt Cross with the hammerlock DDT.
Oh, shit. Okay, then.
So, he's put people away with that plenty of times.
So that's the second time he's pinned Cross, then.
Yes.
Dang.
Making a very, very strong statement for what he said earlier in this, earlier in the year. Christian Napier wants that mega championship.
Yeah, he's coming for it. Vincent Nothing just wants to hurt people. He doesn't care about that. But Napier's, young gun, hot shot. He wants that title.
He's calculated. Yeah. Michelle in the chat said Vince beat on Bryson like he owed him something.
You're exactly right.
Yeah. And then I didn't skip you. I saw you, Jill. Jill's in the chat.
Yes.
She said she was so bummed she couldn't be there, but I hope to return soon to mega events. We missed and love you. Were missed very much yesterday, Jill.
Very much.
But Bear City Vice was able to pick up the win. I did see Norm on last night on his Facebook dedicated that to you. I don't know if you saw it, but if you didn't, he did. Vito and Norm dedicated their win to you, Jill, yesterday. So, Amanda in the chat. So
hello.
She's but this was a big win. Like I said, Christian very much gunning for Tyreek Kalam current. So we'll see how that plays out. Or
right,
Christian Napier is he's been around, man.
What happened with this?
This match right here.
What was that?
Was insane. Okay, Vince. So okay, I forgot to. Me and Tony are holding it down tonight for Stabby Vince. He went.
Oh, that's right. Of course, we went right into stuff.
I apologize.
Yeah, we're out of.
I forget the name of it. It's something Majestic Meadows or something. He went on a date with his wife, and that's important.
Yeah.
That's important as well. So he gets a pass tonight. But yeah, he sent pictures to the chat. Shit, my dude was playing with otters and stuff. So I'm a little jealous of Vince, to be honest.
Right? He's hanging out with otters. Yeah, man.
But yeah, back to this one. I don't know if if you haven't been following, when Pastor CeeLo and El Tic Taco came back out of the portal, they seem to have shared some weird inter-body connection
Right.
as to where CeeLo would get hit, but he wouldn't feel it. Taco would feel it, and vice versa.
Anything that seemed to hurt or even like a suplex would send Taco, It was interesting.
It was a lot to process, and it took us all a while to kind of figure out what was going on, because again, they came out of the portal and they came out as they went in, still fighting over the Fighting Spirit Championship, trying to prove who was and who wasn't the real champion.
Yep. Holding the Flux U to get, both of them holding the Flux U together, going through the port. I
just want to say, I love you for that, Vic. I love you for that. Vic is at the movies right now watching Thunderbolt, but what's he watching on his phone? Piledriver podcast.
Right.
I appreciate you. Let us know how the movie is done, because I'm really invested in the Thunderbolts and the whole Marvel shit. So it's gonna be really good, but it's a bunch of B-roll characters, and they might fuck it up.
It's supposed to be like a Suicide Squad almost, I think, right?
Kind of, yeah. But in this match, we did see at one point Pastor CeeLo was trying to, work Chris Cole over, and Cole was trying to figure out what was going on. He kept suplexing, headlocks, just takeovers, punching CeeLo, hitting him, and it wasn't working. But on the outside, Taco was just
feeling
beat up.
Feeling it.
Just feeling it. So at one point, I forgot, again, this is something you have to have been following, because if you haven't been, you wouldn't know that also following Taco and CeeLo out of the portal was a dinosaur by the name of T-Flux, as we have come to find out. And T-Flux has been signed to a mega contract, which is fucking insane. There's a dinosaur on the roster.
He posts, she posts every day.
All the time.
Follow
She was just at Disney World. Like, she's breaking down barriers, and then she went to Disney World today.
How did she get around so fast? Oh, maybe the portal? Did she go in and out of the portal?
Maybe.
I don't know, man.
I'm not sure. Chris Cole used the distraction provided from T-Flux, who has been on the hunt for CeeLo and Taco since returning from the portal. Caused the distraction for Tic Taco to end up in the ring as he's running away. Cole uses that to his advantage, puts him in a butterfly lock.
Yes.
CeeLo
submission
falls down and
taps out.
Vince calls the match because the champion just tapped out.
Well, and yet you heard you put Taco in the butterfly lock. CeeLo taps out, loses his title.
CeeLo tapped out and lost the title. We have a new Fighting Spirit champion, and that is Mega Legend Killer Chris Cole. I'm hella excited for this. The Killer Cole era.
Going on a tear.
He said himself, before the match, he has done nothing but win and win and win since he's come back. He has proved that he has a fighting spirit. And I mean, Pastor CeeLo carried that title for 1 year. Solid. A whole 365. And he's got to want it back. It did seem, if you noticed, Tony, after the match, after a new champion was crowned, it seemed as if the bond between Taco and CeeLo had split. So maybe everything's back to normal. Maybe it was all hinged on that Fighting Spirit Championship.
Fighting Spirit Championship, where it all started in the first place, right?
Because Taco built the flux capacitor, or whatever the hell it was, to try to get back to when he was the champion. It was the Flux U. That's what it was. The Flux U.
Yes.
So I don't know. We'll have to see how this plays out. Hopefully we'll get some answers soon. Something from Taco, something from CeeLo, something. Who knows? Maybe we'll hear from T. Maybe we'll hear from T Flex.
She'll have input on the match.
Next was one of my favorites.
I was so pleasantly surprised at how good this match was.
Pumped. I mean, I love a good battle royal, a good
Yeah.
Royal Rumble. They're awesome matches because you never know what can happen.
Yep.
In this match, as you can see, everybody pictured minus Ashton Day over there in the top. He did not compete in the Breaking Down Barriers or Breaking Barriers Battle Royal. Everybody pictured did compete in there. Everybody got down. It was wild. We got to see Funky Yoder, B-Boy Bowers. We got to see the missing piece, Jamal Kindle. Wrath was in there. RJ Jonesy.
Cree made his return.
And let's not forget, I don't know how golden they are anymore, but Jimmy James made his return and looking for RJ. So, I mean, I can't even explain how this went down, who went out first, who lost. All I know is that in the end, it ended up being Wrath, Jammer, the baddest witch, Sebastian LaShawn, and the returning Iron Satch.
That also returning through the portal has
found himself.
Or he found him. Yeah.
Yeah, like the fountain of youth, essentially. We saw Satchmo the last time we saw Satchmo. He was an old man.
Old man. Falling over from back problems. You're getting pins, but falling over from back problems.
He had a cane and honey packs and all this nonsense. And we saw a couple days ago, returning through the portal was a youthful, renewed, energetic,
good,
opportunistic Iron Satch.
Yes.
And he ended up making it to the final 2. It came down to 1v1 Iron Satch versus Sebastian LaShawn, and this ending of this battle royal could not have been more perfect. It was, dude. I didn't know who was gonna win. It was top notch. It ended up Sebastian LaShawn ended up knocking Nick over the top rope. Both of his feet to touch the floor. It was like
Nick in like a power slam, like a running power slam almost. Yeah. And Sebastian was able to swing her leg around
and Hurricane Rana kind of deal.
Yeah, I think Nick was going to power bomb or toss her over the top there, and they countered, Rana out, and Sebastian.
The winner of the Break the Barriers Battle Royal, the baddest witch, Sebastian LaShawn. But that's not the key here. Yes, it's awesome. Fuck yeah, she won. Hell yeah. Cool. Hell yeah.
Good job. Won them. Yeah. But
Sebastian gets a title shot of her choosing at any time she wants. This is essentially Money in the Bank. She just won Money in the Bank, and she can cash in whenever. Killer Chris.
And I mean, we'll get there after. I mean,
Colt Johnson needs to watch out. And I hate to say it, but the Demon King should probably watch out.
After we'll talk about everything later, but yeah, I mean, Kalam needs to watch out. There,
for all we know, Sebastian could pull her therapist to her side and cash in on Cash Inc. and to challenge for tag team gold.
Right?
This is there's endless opportunities. Sebastian has become the mega ultimate opportunist.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, there's no reason necessarily. Yeah, Sebastian former Baddies champion, but that doesn't mean that they're gonna go back to Pepper Pride. There's other gold out
I
there.
mean,
So yeah,
I
everybody.
totally just blanked on that. I totally just blanked on Pepper. Yeah.
Well,
Sebastian.
but I mean,
Both
yeah,
a
and
rematch
that's
here.
right. You want maybe that title back, Sebastian does, but
Victor said
if
it too,
there's if you have that opportunity and you can take it anytime you want, why not go for, the mega title or even a tag title or whatever?
Look,
But
you said it right the first time. You had it right the first time. Why be the top baddie when you could be queen of the mountain?
top, yep, top mega,
Like you could just be standing up there holding the big belt. So
exactly.
time will tell what's going to happen and when and what Sebastian will cash in on. Well, as soon as we find out, as soon as it happens, if we do not find out beforehand, we will be sure to inform everybody immediately of that because
Yeah.
this is. I know after the battle royal, that led us into Oh, and I do apologize. We up in the corner there next to Action Day, we did finally get the return. We saw him on Thursday night. The West Side Luchador himself, Brazzi Suave, is fully 100% healed, and he is back in action. So it was great to see him return to the ring last night, and he eliminated B-Boy Bowers.
Which is, if nothing else, a little bit of a payback.
Yeah, I got you. Kind of maybe. I mean,
Yeah.
maybe Brazzi's coming back for that title. Maybe he didn't feel like the Brazzi Knuckles era was over. So we'll see
he
how
might
it
have
goes
to work
from
his
here.
way back up. Right.
But you got to watch out for the funky yo-yoter, the Prince and King of the Burbs over here. But I know after this match we went into intermission. All right. And normally intermission is it's chill. People get food, etc. Yada yada yada. Intermission went hard yesterday, like hard. There were so many people. There were so many people.
Am I stuck?
Oh, there he's back. Look, Jill's in the chat. She said Brazzi Suave could have extended his leave. Jill, that's not nice. He had a hurt ankle. He is 100% healed and he's back. But that's neither here nor there. We know you're not a fan. But intermission went hard. I'm talking merch sales on merch sales on merch sales. Kids were out, figures were bought. I saw little kids walking around with championship belts and T-shirts and Tic Taco, and it was great. I love to see that. You see, just kids having fun, dude. I know there was a bunch of people walking around. We had a special edition mega shirt yesterday that was for sale, and it had all the match card on the back and stuff. And I know there were people walking around asking wrestlers to sign that, so that was pretty cool. Of all the wrestlers signing.
Yeah, good way to do that.
Vic said Jill shooting in the comments. She always does, bro.
Always.
Jill does not. She don't care. Yeah, look, hold on. I'm gonna try something, Tony, because you're still frozen.
Then you can hear me.
I can hear you, but you're
yeah. Why am I here? Let me stop my cam.
Me? Like, am I still moving?
Yeah, no, you're fine. Hold on.
This is what you're like this.
Yeah.
But yeah, intermission was awesome. I had it's one of those like Matt Cardona says. You just hang out at the table and they'll come because they want to support, and they were there. Oh, wait, we got something. Oh, Tony's moving again. There he is. Hey,
I'm back. All right, cool.
He's back. Yeah, he's back. But yeah, intermission. It was one of those times where we had to extend intermission a little bit to accommodate, and that's beautiful to see. So shout out again to everybody who comes out, came out yesterday and spent some hard-earned money on merch for these guys. Vic's going nuts in the comments. He says, first heel turn in the comment section. It ain't a heel turn. She's been a heel, dog. She's been a heel. City. Yeah, she sided with Bear City Vice months ago. Coming back from intermission, we came back hot with a match I was really looking forward to. Before announced, I was not familiar with Brutal Bob Evans. I've since done some research. Ring of Honor. He's very well traveled. and he's something else I want to touch on again. We went to a seminar with him today. Very, very knowledgeable.
Very knowledgeable.
Very knowledgeable. He knows this business inside.
Yes.
But that's another story for another time. We did get to see him in action against our very own Southern Center for his Infinity Championship. He put it on this kid, Tommy. Like, he gave Colt the business.
Oh, yes, he did. Yes, he did. He gave all Bear City Vice the business.
Yeah, I was going to say Bear City Vice tried some of their tactics. Jill, you missed this. Bear City Vice tried to get involved with Brutal Bob Evans. He smashed both their heads together, flipped them inside of the ring,
them over.
Double clothesline beat down for the boys.
Yeah.
But even though they didn't do anything, even though Bob Evans was in control of this match 97% of the time, the distraction caused by Vito and Norm they didn't do anything.
Yep.
They didn't get in the ring. Bob brought him in the ring. Bob clotheslined him out of the ring.
Yep.
But while Bob was doing that, Colt was recuperating. And as soon as Bob turned around, he caught that jumping flatliner.
Yeah.
And
he went head first too. He nailed him with it.
Yeah, he stuck Bob to the ground. Like, it was clean.
Now we at one point Bob was working Colt around the ring and things. I forget. He gave him a headbutt or something or another, and he brought him around the crowd. And there, sitting in the crowd, is Don Tavio.
So I didn't know what to do at this point.
Well, I mean, he bought a ticket. He had a wristband.
Front row ticket. He had a wristband. He was a paying customer.
You've seen plenty of times where, like, the wrestler gets the other guy and he's like, gets the fan, say, hey, chop him for me. Yeah, it gets the fan interaction and everything, gets them hyped up and stuff. And I don't know if Bob knew who Don Tavio was. I don't know if there was some interaction.
It was just random happenstance that he just happened to pick.
To go.
It was crazy. As it was posted by Mega Championship Wrestling earlier. Don Tavio just happened to be sitting next to a guy wearing a Southern Sinner shirt that just happened to be Colt's grandfather. So maybe Bob Evans sees the Colt Johnson shirt. I mean, it's right there. It's on Colt's promo picture. Maybe he sees that in the crowd and goes to the fan next to him.
Exactly.
If I'm wearing a Colt Johnson shirt, I'm not going to chop Colt Johnson.
Right. But the guy next to him might not be such a Colt Johnson fan.
And just so happens it was not a Colt Johnson fan. As Colt was able to kind of fight out of this, push back towards the fan, get away from this situation. But then after the flatliner, said fan, Don Tavio, jumped the guardrail.
Yeah, that's a little too far. A little too far, my man.
And tried to attack Colt Johnson. Security was quick. Security jumped in and, got Don Tavio out of there. But as we saw, that this is not where this story ends.
Right.
After the match, the one and only Brandon Xavier confronts Bear City Vice in the locker room, says that he was going to, have a nice, fun-filled weekend this coming weekend. He was going to go do stuff with the family. He was going to see llamas and alpacas and shit.
What? Okay, they're seeing llamas and alpacas, and Vince is off seeing otters.
It's the same place. It's the same place. They have all that. Yeah. So
we need a mega trip, mega see some animals.
Mega field trip to Majestic Meadows. We can all fucking play with llamas. Anyway. Brandon said he was, he had a nice fun weekend planned this coming weekend on the 10th. He was going to go out Saturday and hang out with the family and go do things. And now he has to come clean up Colt Johnson's mess. What does that mean? I don't know. But I do know that Brandon Xavier will be at NEOPro 3 in the SSC Dome.
Yep.
I know that Brandon Xavier will be sitting with us in the pile driver section. I don't know the NEOPro, what's going on there, but I know that a couple of weeks ago or a week or so ago, they posted that Dontavio was going to be coming out and addressing this.
We'll go over that a little later too. But yeah. So
I don't know if Dontavio's past the point of addressing it. I don't know if Dontavio's ready to face the wrath that Brandon Xavier has.
Well, and think about too, like that was announced before this happened.
Yes,
so
that's what I'm saying.
Yeah, like you just kind of
this was announced, and then Dontavio showed up at Turmoil a couple times. The second time he put hands on Vito, we had to kick him out of Turmoil. They jib-jab back and forth on social medias a little bit.
Yeah.
And then he shows up to break it down barriers. And now he attacks Colt Johnson.
Honestly, we need to keep in mind for Thursday.
So
you never know, man.
Well, I know Thursday, and I mean, I doubt at this point he's going to be allowed in the building. You know, we'll
I mean,
check it at the door. It's not like it's Turmoil, come hang out till the seats are filled, and then we're done. It's who are you? Like,
you can't be having
with a hood on. Like,
exactly. This isn't like a wrestler's buddy's coming to hang out to watch or something, or like no.
So we're gonna have to see how this plays out. But I know that Brandon Xavier will be with us. He's coming on Saturday. I don't know what's gonna happen, and if you think anybody's controlling Brandon Xavier, you are wrong. So let's see. I again a little worried for Dontavio because you interrupted Brandon Xavier's show. He's not happy. But Brutal Bob Evans unable to get Colt Johnson here. Colt Johnson able to hit that jumping flatliner to retain his Infinity Championship.
And take out another indie legend.
Another indie legend notched on the belt. He just keeps adding them up.
Yeah.
I have nothing to say about this match other than it was a fucking clinic.
Amazing, man. Like, and
this
it was
a great wrestling match.
Right. Like, it was a nice change up from what we saw with Bob and Colt. This match was faster pace and just a clinic. Like
wrestling moves on wrestling moves and holds, and we've seen the Unchained King Brandon Day a bunch of times. I've seen Alex Daniels a bunch of times, and to finally have Brandon Day make his debut at Mega Championship Wrestling and go against our former champion, one of our greats, I'd say. Alex Daniels is fucking awesome. He's a great wrestler. This was a great match. Alex Daniels comes out on top. I doubt this is the last time we see Brandon Day. I hope not.
I hope not.
But that's like this was. Dave Meltzer would have gave this 5 stars in Tokyo Dome. Like, this one was worrisome. Cash have been at odds for weeks on weeks on weeks. Gavin gets a Brass Knuckles Championship match. Skylar gets a Heavyweight Championship
match.
Gavin gets his face busted and broken up, has to wear a protective mask.
And gone for weeks.
Yeah. Cash Inc., the disconnect from them could not have been farther entering this match against Team All Day, who had won that last two. It was a four-way tag team match. They came out on top. So they were very, very cohesive.
Right, back on the same page.
Yeah. Aaron Alloway just coming off of, even though he lost, Aaron Alloway just came off probably one of the biggest singles matches of his career, where he almost beat Alex Daniels on Turmoil. So
if it wasn't for Crumbles, right?
Cash Inc. came out. Ken was able to get Cash Inc. to work together for the most part. They looked good. They looked like old school Cash Inc. And at one point, it seemed as if Ken sacrificed themselves. When it was going to be the miscommunication, there was another miscommunication, and it looked like I think it was Gavin was going to get hit again.
Yes.
And Ken stepped in the way and took it to sacrifice for her team.
And I think they were hurt too, so they had to be helped to the back afterward. So
yes,
like that was a big one from Ken.
So Cash Inc. able to pick up a victory over All Day, and maybe, just maybe, our two-time Mega Tag Team Champions are back on the same page.
Right. We will see.
Michelle said Ken looked dead.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Yeah, their shoe broke.
Because when Cash Inc. is on one, they are unstoppable. But this isn't the first time we've seen this little animosity between.
Well, and it just makes sense. Honestly, they're two young guys that are, ego driven, that, want titles, want money, they want to be in that main event spot. And maybe being in a tag team isn't what they want to do forever. So,
look at yourself.
Yeah.
So, yeah, able to pick up the win here, able to get back in the win column as a team. So, kudos to Cash Inc. In our main event, this one has been brewing for weeks on weeks on weeks. The promos here have been personal. They have been, just at each other's throats.
Well, and
each other fit, calling each other, it took you so long to get here.
Right.
Why? These men have been attacking each other, and this match it's exactly what we thought it was going to be.
Yeah. Hard hitting.
Mm-hmm.
Just a fight.
It got to the point where Kalam hit him with the forearm. Couldn't pin him. Kalam brought a chair into the ring. Ritter said, no, you can't use that chair. Obviously, you'll be disqualified. So Kalam sets the chair up, puts Onyx in it, forearms him again.
And that
still kicks out.
Right. How?
At this point, Onyx was barely moving. Kalam, very, very frustrated, goes in, grabs the chair once again. Ritter's pleading with him, don't do it, don't do it. He pushes Ritter's away, hits Onyx with the chair, gets himself disqualified.
And
awesome.
Did not stop there.
We've seen it a million times. We've seen that a million times. Kalam, very, very frustrated. Something we have not seen a million times. Absolutely loses it and continues to just destroy Chris Onyx with this steel chair. Pushed Ritter's out of the way. Ritter's calls for us. Me and Vince come running down.
You guys running down, yeah.
We're trying to get him out. Security comes in. They're trying to essentially stick a spatula under Chris Onyx and flip him up. Kalam's just wailing on him with the chair. We're trying to get him to stop. He pretends he's going to stop. He hits him one more time. Out the curtain with the fury comes Brandon Xavier, and he yokes up our champion like I've never seen him been yoked up before.
Oh, yeah, in the corner, like.
Just straight bullies him to the corner, tells him to quit this shit right now. Bull, get out of here, yada, yada, yada. Tyreek gets out of the ring. As the security is picking Chris Onyx up, and me and Vince are holding the ropes, and we're trying to get Onyx out, who is hurt right now. He's, like you said earlier, feeling it.
Yeah.
Kalam slides through Brandon Xavier's legs back in the ring, jumps up and knocks Kalam, who's defenseless. I'm sorry, Onyx, defenseless. Just knocks him one more forearm, grabs his title, and laughs on his way down the entryway. This is a new Demon King that I've never seen before. The fury on here.
And not that he even needed it, but like, right, we're talking about Sebastian cashing in. Maybe they shouldn't. Maybe they should.
Not on Kalam. But yes, this was a new fury from Kalam like I've never seen. If he keeps this, there's no telling how long he keeps that title.
Oh yeah.
But it was a great show. I loved everything about breaking down barriers. I know that our next show is not at home. I can't even tell you when our next show at home is. I have no idea. I know that our next show is May 30th.
Yes,
we will be at Kalahari Resorts in Sandusky, Ohio for Colossal.
Hometown. Thank you. I don't have to travel very far.
I will not be there this year, unfortunately. I will not make Colossal Con, which is a little sad for me. Look, I'm missing it for a great reason. I'm missing it for a great reason. My reason is not the reason that I'm sad. I mean, like the reason I'm missing is not why I'm sad.
Right.
Last year, my very first live audience referee debut was at Colossal Con. So it's kind of like my anniversary. So that's a little upsetting that I'm missing it. But my daughter's graduating high school. So
yeah, that's
cool. And that's where I'll be. So I'm sure everybody will be fun. Cole Johnson, Mega Fan X in the chat says it's a great large crowd. And yes, it is an awesome crowd. It is a phenomenal crowd.
Well, we do 3 shows over like, what is it? 6 hours? I want to say 3
like
shows.
The course of 6 hours. Yeah, that's the course like six hours or something like that. We do 3 shows. It's like an hour and 30 minutes a show, and then we take
that's
like
for intermission. Right? Yep.
Intermission, bathrooms, yada, then back to the wrestling.
Yep. Come see us.
Yeah, if you're out at Colossal Con and you're just hanging out and you're doing the anime stuff, hit up Exhibit Hall, wherever. Find Mega Championship Wrestling. There's a big sign. There always is. And go check them out.
Right.
It's awesome. You will not be disappointed. I know we got home days coming up. I know they will be at the They were talking about the Captain's game. I'm not sure the date on that, but we at the Lake County Captains. But that's Mega Championship Wrestling. Let's talk NEOPro Wrestling.
This weekend,
May the 10th, we have NEOPro Wrestling. And NEOPro Wrestling 3. So this is a pretty good one, man. This is a pretty big one. We've been around since the very beginning.
This is a big show.
Yeah. Like I said, we've been around with NEOPro since the very beginning. Paulie and I went to their very first show at Hartville at the little flea market. They don't want to call it a flea market, but it's a flea market. Cole Johnson, Mega Fan X, said the Rubber Ducks as well. I did forget about that. We do got the Rubber Ducks for Mega Championship Wrestling. But this Saturday at the new venue. So I've never been to this venue. This is a new venue out there at the SSC Dome. It looks cool. I've seen pictures of it. It looks sweet. But NEOPro will be there for their 3rd annual event. This is essentially a NEOPro WrestleMania.
Right.
Their anniversary event, and as you can see on the poster,
gotta pull out the big names.
The big names are out. Real One. Is that what he's going by now?
The Real One.
Okay. Nzo Amore. I don't, Enzo and N with the big Z and the O.
Oh, yeah. I don't know. Is he just the Real One?
Yeah, I have no idea. So Enzo, formerly known, here, I'll just do formerly known as Nzo Amore.
There you go.
Will be there. And let me tell you, Tony.
Here, what's the...
Not a big fan of Nzo Amore, the wrestler. Very, very, very big fan of Nzo Amore, the fucking promo cutter. All right?
Correct, sir.
Let me just tell you that I need him to cut a promo on Matt Taylor or Studio 86 or
Right.
just whatever. So,
Just right. Give him a mic and let him go out there.
let him go. Just let him go. But yes, as Tony's got it up here, he will be doing autographs, photo opportunities, combo, $50, $30 a piece if you don't want to buy both. You can pre-order at neoprotix.com. You can get that package. So I'm pumped to meet Nzo Amore. I'm pumped to, say, hey, smack talk a Skywalker. That's
right.
May the fourth be with you. And, so.
Right.
But that is not the only one. And look, I did say, look, it says right here, in action.
Yeah, in action.
So maybe he's in a match. I'm not 100% sure, but maybe.
Some kind of impromptu.
We do have an IW Guide podcast pre-show attraction, Point Break versus Ohio Ronin. Not familiar with
I am not
either one of
familiar.
these teams. So
We'll see.
looking forward to learning a little bit about them, maybe see them in action. These guys we do have some familiarity with. Vince or Tony, if you see that guy there all the way on the left with the dreads, that is the Suicide Diver.
Right.
Michelle said she's fans of Ohio Ronin, so if Michelle likes him, they're pretty solid.
Okay.
Yeah. Michelle's, she got good taste.
Yeah.
You'll love Becky Reeves. Who's Becky Reeves? Did I miss something?
Which one's Becky Reeves from Ohio Ronin?
Left
or right?
Left or the one in the brown jacket or the one in the gray hoodie?
Well, how long is our delay?
I don't know.
How fast can Michelle type?
we have another indie wrestling guide podcast attraction as BAX goes against the team of the Lone Rangers. BAX made up of Vic Weiss, Zay Garcia, and Sid Von England. And you'll know him after Saturday. He's the one in brown.
He's in the brown.
Okay, perfect. The Lone Rangers made up of the team of Shelby Wilder, the IW champion Mikey Montgomery, and Sammy Suntimer. I love Zay Garcia and I love Shelby Wilder. So I mean I like Sid a lot. Vic's a great wrestler, but that whole suicide dive scared the shit out of me. I'm glad
scared the shit out of me, man.
Could
have broke his arm real good.
Yeah. So this should be a good 6-man tag match for sure. Yeah. This was announced the other day, as we went to the last show, Tony, they had the Great Lakes Invitational. Right. And, we did a bunch of singles matches in the first round. We now have it was initially a fatal 4-way eliminator match. Josh Crane, Hayden Backlund, Trey Lamar, and Ryan Zane. Josh Crane, unfortunately, card subject to change.
Yes.
This match has now been made a triple threat match, and it is for that Great Lakes Wrestling Championship. One of these guys is going home with that nice, pretty title. And let me just say that I hope it's not the garbage guy on the right of my screen. I don't know. I wasn't that much of a fan. He was all right. The gimmick was cool, but
right.
Hayden's a beast. Trey Lamar and Hayden Backlund probably put on one of my favorite matches in NEOPro last year.
Yes.
That shit was fire.
Yeah, I wouldn't be mad at either one of them winning for sure.
Michelle's calling Trey. Hayden, I could see him taking it, but Trey, very much, I could see as well. So
I could see Trey. He seems like he's on the up.
This one right here, I'm a little worried about. If we're the man on your left, if you do not know, that is the Neon Tarantino, Derek Dillinger. Derek's fucking violent.
Violent.
But as we saw at the
no
Diamond Royale, Uncle Wilbur can also be pretty violent. This is going to be a great match between two vets. This should be another one, like we said, essentially a clinic type match. I'm excited. Yes. Wilbur always puts on pretty solid match. Derek is great. Derek's probably one of my favorite heel shit talkers in the business.
Oh yeah,
like in the indie side, he's fucking amazing.
He's a great promo. Yeah, he makes you believe that shit. Like you feel what he says.
And then this right here is what we were talking about earlier. This was put out. Hold on. I'm gonna use my cell phone here, and I'm gonna go to NEOPro's website, and we're gonna see when the original date this was posted.
Okay.
Because they talked about it, or it hasn't been talked. Okay, so here we go. First time it was posted, April 26th was the first time this was posted. I don't see it before on there. Yeah, April 26th. Because they had other stuff for NEOPro 3, match announcements and stuff.
Yeah, right.
But Ontavio, and then on April 26th, it was announced. Okay, so that's the first date. So that's April 26th. So yesterday.
What day was?
Are we going to calendar? Hold on to the calendar.
Yeah, we're both going to calendars.
26 was last Saturday.
Yes.
It was actually a week ago. He showed up on Turmoil.
On Turmoil.
On the 24th, and nothing happened. That was the day he sat in the crowd. On April 26th, he said he wanted to address Colt Johnson. On May 1st, he showed up again at Turmoil and was kicked out. Hold on. When was the Booby Bar show? What was the date on that?
Oh, I don't remember.
April 12th. So April 12th, before April 26th, before he came to Turmoil.
Wow.
April 12th, Colt Johnson. Originally, Ontavio was supposed to come to Mega and wrestle. He didn't show up. The rest is him.
Yeah.
At the Diamond Royale, him and Colt Johnson ended up face to face in the crowd, and everything has stemmed from there. Amanda Stack in the chat said, "Slap Colt in the face for everyone." Ontavio. So, anyways, like we said last night, this was posted on April 26th. So last night and Thursday on the 1st, he has been
all premeditated, man.
And he has been kicked out of the big building. So has that maybe changed his address to Colt Johnson? Has something changed? And now because he's introduced himself again, it was just announced last night by Mega Championship Wrestling that the Ohio Chief will be in the building.
Right.
Does that change Ontavio's perspective on how he wants to address Mega?
And honestly, in what way? Because he might not want to, he doesn't care about Brandon Xavier originally. He's all Colt. But now you might think, well, he's going to ease off because Brandon Xavier's there. But he might just do the opposite. He might, go right in on Brandon. Who knows?
That would not be a smart thing for him to do.
I mean, I'm not saying it would be. I'm just saying.
So yeah, if you want to know, oh my God, here we go. Look at
she's not
in there.
All right.
Besides Thursday Night Turmoil, May 30th will be in Sandusky. June 7th, we are at Niles Toy Expo with Greg the Hammer Valentine and Tony Atlas. June 26th, we are at Rubber Ducks. July 12th, we are back at home at Lorain County Community College for Converge. And July 19th and 20th, we are at Home Days of Seven Hills. Boom. Put that in your cap. So yes, we got Ontavio. This match, after super kicking Jexy Black in the face, and not the Beastman not knowing about it, he found out at the Diamond Royale. And he's gonna try to murder Matt Taylor.
Yeah.
That's all I can say about that. The Beastman has been let out of the cage. And Matt's not gonna be able to control him.
There's no controlling him. Whatever he was able to do to control him before, I don't think it's gonna work.
He ruined it.
He ruined it. You ruined it.
This match, I am pumped for. Two of my favorite women wrestlers going up for the most coveted prize in women's NEOPro championship. The production, Katie Arquette, the queen of the silver screen, versus
This is gonna go hard.
dog. It's a machine. She be throwing
Yes.
tombstone pile drivers and pointing at your boys. She knows. She knows. I'm just saying. So I can't wait for this. This is going to be a banger. I'm not sure. Katie's very capable of taking that championship. Will she?
Oh,
I
yeah.
don't know. She can.
Very,
Will she?
yeah, she can.
Yeah.
Yes. And underhanded tactics or not, regardless, she definitely could do it.
And then after, everything, all the dust has settled, formed seemingly with Cash Inc., they are back this weekend to defend tag team gold. They are your current NEOPro tag team champions, but this is probably the toughest task they faced. These are not just 3 normal tag teams. These are 3 of the Northeast very best. And I can't even say Northeast Ohio because fucking Studio 86 from Detroit. But actually, what's even more beautiful is I've been in contact with the boys from Studio 86, so we're going to have them on soon. Probably not before this show, but probably after.
That's okay.
But they are going to be on shortly. We're going to get some information from these guys.
Nice.
Maserati Rick and Bill Martell. But they are in this match as well as Philly and Marino, former Mega Tag Team champions. They definitely know Cash Inc. And then
current Mega champions.
And they are the current Mega Tag Team champions. Then also in the fray are Calvin and Malcolm of Members Only. One of my favorite tag teams as well. I love Members Only.
Yes.
Fucking machines.
Yeah, this one's going to bang.
But the craziness here is that it's a 4-corner frenzy match, so it's essentially a 4-way dance. Skylar and Gavin do not have to get pinned to lose these titles. Let's say that Maserati Rick fucking pins Malcolm Cambridge.
Right.
Studio 86 is the new tag team champions. So
and there's a lot of moving parts.
Yes.
Like how Cash Inc.'s, got to have their eyes in the back of their head and down the side of their head, like everywhere.
This is essentially the match where having Ken would definitely benefit.
But is Ken okay?
Ken getting hurt. But
yeah,
getting hurt on Saturday.
Like they very much could lose their titles because Ken got hurt at this mega show.
This is going to be a banger. And then last but most certainly not least, NEOPro heavyweight champion Ultra Star Ashton Day defends his title against No Shame Jimmy Shane in a last man standing match. The last time we saw Jimmy and Ashton tie up in a hardcore match, street fight, Ashton was handcuffed to the ring post. Jimmy Shane he knows. I've known Jimmy Shane for 8 years, 7 years, something like that. When Jimmy Shane locks in, Jimmy Shane locks in.
Right.
He's been saying that he wanted his moment, and he's going to make it his moment. This is the perfect opportunity. But the Ultra Star is not going to lay down.
Well, I think it's in Jimmy Shane's wheelhouse, man. I mean, as much as the Ultra Star, he's been in some hardcore matches and some crazy stuff, but that doesn't mean that's what he's, specializes in. He's a wrestler. And
yes.
I mean, Jimmy Shane is more adapt to, foreign objects, let's say.
Well, I know that Jimmy Shane, and I'm not saying that he would get them involved. I'm not in any room, but I know that Jimmy Shane runs with a crew. Okay. And I know that crew likes to drink beer and kick ass. And they're good at it. They're good at it. Now, I'm not saying the crew's going to get involved here, but I'm saying that Jimmy Shane, he's being an ass kicker, dude. That's what he likes to do. He likes to fight. And this is a fight. So you have to keep your opponent down for a count of 10 to win
essentially
the
knock them
NEOPro
out.
Heavyweight Championship. And that's going to be your main event at the SSC Dome this weekend. We'll be there. The Ohio Chief will be there. And all your favorite NEOPro stars, personalities. My boy Ron Reed better be there. That's my boy. I love Ron. So hopefully this new dome is as kick-ass as I think it's gonna be. This venue is as awesome as I see it in my head. Because like I said, I've seen pictures, but in my head, the way I see it,
what you're thinking.
It looks it could look badass. So I'm really excited for this weekend. I'm really excited to hang out with the Piledriver family. And, like I said, our special guest, the Ohio Chief. I'm so worried for Dontavio, my friend.
Man, yeah, that's not going to go well for anybody.
That's all I got for tonight. Do you have anything else? Do you have flowers that you want to give out? Anybody feel needs a little extra appreciation?
All of the mega production team, honestly, like from Bobby does camera, you guys, with you and Vince reffing and things like that, you're a big help backstage. Jen, obviously, everybody back there that does things. It's
Marky conducting those backstage interviews yesterday.
Yes, Mark doing the backstage interviews now. We had Alec running hard cam. Like it can't happen without everybody, doing the team effort. So those are my flowers.
I'm gonna give my flowers out to Bob Evans and Kevin Kelly. I got to attend a seminar from them today, and it was very informative. It was very knowledgeable. It was awesome. They were great to work with in the ring. I took a picture with Kevin Kelly yesterday, and it wasn't one of the ones because I was telling, I think it was Vince last time down to RSW. I was like, there's only been a few times in my life where I've met a famous person and I was starstruck. And X-Pac was one of them. Walking in line, I was like, this is cool, dog. Fuck X-Pac, fucking suck it. You know what I'm saying? Shit like that.
Right.
It's X-Pac, dude. This is about to be dope. And then I got up and I was like, I walked away and I looked at Dean and I was like, what the fuck? What happened? So it wasn't that kind of moment with Kevin Kelly, but it was very much a moment of holy shit. Hi.
Yeah.
I'm Mike. I grew up watching you on WWF TV.
Right. You're a real person that, yeah.
You're right here and you had pointers for me on this or that. And you're not an asshole about it. He was awesome.
Right. Yeah.
Dude. So kudos and shout outs to them, flowers to them for going around and, trying to teach the masses,
because that was a big turnout.
Yeah. So, and then, shout out to everybody that showed up, dude. There was a dude in our seminar today from Canada. Tony, see that?
No. Was that the, I don't remember his name.
His name was Jeremy, I believe.
Dude in the blue, had long hair.
Yes, and he had a
yeah.
Yes, he was
from Canada. Nice. He was good.
He was awesome. Yeah. So it was real cool, man. It was a great turnout. Thank you again to Mega Championship Wrestling for hosting an awesome seminar. I appreciate that.
Yes.
But yeah, great turnout. Thank you to everybody coming to the show. Murray Bridge, thank you guys for showing out and showing us support. We love supporting you. And then I do want to say one more thing. Last night, I saw a couple things yesterday that made me really proud to be a fan. I got to see when Brazzi returned last night, man, the crowd was so happy for him. At intermission, the kids coming out to see him, and it was a top-notch just kind of moment. And he was out. Everybody was so happy for his return.
Right, that's what it's about.
Sebastian as well. The fucking place erupted when Sebastian won the Battle Royal. So shout out and kudos to both of them. It's so happy to see you guys succeeding, man.
Yes.
But thank you guys all for tuning in tonight. We appreciate you all. Hopefully we see you. Later.
See ya.